Hello guys, Garcia here. Welcome back to Brigandine. So now we just need to execute the attack for this turn. So let me check if everything is correctly set up here. So yes, all the movements. Okay, so we just need to attack here. So I'm not going to attack with anybody else this turn. So let's do it. So this one is going to be very complicated because we are going to face several spellcasters here. Oh, finally a stage in which I can actually use the Tiamat to its fullest potential here. There's a river that crosses the entire map here. Not often that something like that happens. Okay, so initially here, this stage is actually pretty decent to form a wall in. We can put out several flyers on this side here, flying creatures, and then we can just create a pretty small wall here. I don't need a whole lot of creatures. So this one actually gives us the advantage, which doesn't happen too often. Usually you have the defensive advantage in these types of battles, especially considering that this is the main castle from the Carolean country or kingdom. But this one for sure favors us. So now that Cortina has the Fallberg spell, that is going to make her extremely useful in a single target context. So when we need like a finishing spell, like a curse or something, now she has one. Okay, so clearly the turns are kind of messed up here. So Kai will always start, then it will be Lioness, then it will be Kyloff here. After that, the two enemy knights, and then it's going to be Cortina, so she's going to be late no matter what I do here. So I'm not going to walk a lot here because this is already going to start a battle regardless. I'm going to put her like right in the middle. I think this is the best option here, because that's going to force whomever starts moving here to attack her anyway. Yeah, let's do it like this. Alright. So it's like not perfect. Kyloff is going to be kind of late here, but this is as good as it's going to get right now. I'm actually going to put the angel here. Yeah, they are not going to attack the phoenixes, I'm pretty sure. If they are going to attack somebody, they will attack for sure the glyphs here. Trouble is, it's hard for them to hit because the holy glyphs have amazing agility. See, they are relocating because they want to actually fight my melee knight. Alright. The Tiamat is going to be really useful here. Really useful. And I'm going to need it for sure. Alright, so I'm going to put her here. I don't know if she's going to be that useful in this particular spot. Again, not attacking yet, just repositioning a little bit. I think it's okay to put him here. Jin. Alright. I think this is good enough. So as always, Kai doesn't move a whole lot. He basically didn't do anything worth of note here. So let's just focus on diminishing their numbers here. Okay, so I don't want to move my wall, so let's just keep focusing on this dragon here. I can actually use the giant to attack, so I'm going to put him here. He's kind of protected here. I don't think they can kill him in this position here. I can attack the dragon with the phoenix here. Maybe, yeah, I thought so, the dragon would survive. That's pretty good because we can give the XP to Lioness here. So let's go. It's a pretty good holy word here, pretty solid. They have a lot of bad units, by the way. A lot of them. Like, they have 5 scorpions. That's absolutely terrible. You can't win with that many scorpions at all. Okay, so golem almost down. I'm pretty sure if I can kill like one of the angels, they might just start quitting here. All right, so let's move the Phoenix. Yeah, this is the best one. I can't attack her with the samurai here regardless, so let's just reposition for now. Yeah. Dimension. What can I do here? Just send one giant back. And yeah, kill the merman. There you go. So that was a pretty good turn for us. Yeah, they are already retreating. That was a lot. I guess I can get some XP here. I don't think there's anything that they can do here to kill me here, so it's fine. Oh, that was a lot of damage. And that's a lot of XP too. So yeah, I think it's worth it, you know. The Jin might die here if they attack, if Kai attacks with everything here, but they usually don't do that, so I think it's fine. Okay. Oh, she leveled up, so that's why she is moving first here. Alright, so let's just bring everybody here to get as much extra XP as we can. Okay. Kill this guy. Maybe we'll be able to kill Kai here. That would be awesome. Oh man, really? Oh, that's amazing. That is not what I was expecting was going to happen at the start here. That means that for the final battle, we will not have to deal with Kai, which is amazing. Best case scenario by far. Man, that's awesome. So as I told you guys in the last episode, they might attack us in the other castle here. But as long as you can defeat them in the final battle there, we should be fine. But we'll see. Light roll, sure. That was basically their only chance to have Kai and Dynadan in the same like castle to fight us. But now that Kai has gone down, I think that was like a mistake by the AI because they didn't like factor in their like escape plans that Lioness might act first because she was 25 too. That even surprised me too. I didn't even think about it when she leveled up in my turn, you know. So that made Kai left him completely exposed, so we were able to defeat him. This is the second time, by the way. We also had the same thing happen with the leader of Ischelio, Drist. Man, that's a lot of questing. It comes a point in the game that sending knights to quests doesn't like yield anything useful anymore. We are not at that point yet, but pretty soon. Oh, Master Solom, see. I'm sure he's absorbed in his readings as usual, but why? So, oh, nothing. So you look like you have something in your mind? Can you tell? Of course. The only time you mention Master Solom is when you're worried about something. I guess I can hide anything from you, huh? If you tell me about it, maybe I can help you. Tell you about it. So only if you want to. So it's not that I don't, but I want to tell. I don't want to tell you about it. But never mind. I think I've been thinking too much. I think I've been thinking. That's cool. I'll just take it easy from now on. Thanks for worrying about me. Okay, but if you need me, I'll be here for you. Look at the sky. Aren't those stars beautiful? Yes, they are beautiful. Those stars don't seem real since we're in the middle of the war, right? So you're right, but that's because we're in a chaotic world. If only everyone would notice those beautiful stars. Wishful thinking. People can't afford to look at the sky all the time, yeah. That is so sad. I wonder if Master Solom is looking up at the same sky. I'm sure he is. Do you think so? Sure. So Philo, why are we fighting? Why are you fighting? Why? That's a hard question. I used to think that I was fighting for peace, but I don't know anymore. Yeah, that's what I've been worried about. I've been wondering if we can't live without war. That's scaring me. Master Solom may have an answer to this. That's what I was thinking. So I want to see him, don't you? Yes, I want to learn more from him. But our duty is to protect the Queen. You're right. We must stay alive for the time being, because if we die, we won't be able to see Master Solom. Okay, I'll stop thinking too much. I can't die without knowing the answer. We may be able to find the answer if we stay alive. Yeah, that's mandatory, I would say. I feel much better now. Good. So yes, let's do this for the future of Forsina. Oh, so we are going to straight into another history thing. So Queen Lannis, may I have a moment with you? Our best knight, Langueborg. What can I do for you? I need to talk to you in private. This is an important matter which may change the future of Leonia. Jesus. What are you talking about? There isn't anybody here but you and I. That's odd. I felt the presence of someone else. Anyway, I'm here to show you the strategy I came up with. Strategy? Yes. This strategy will guide you into will guide us into gaining control of Forsina. All the details are in this document. So what a thick document. Oh yes, this is a great strategy. So let's see. I can't read well. It's too sloppy. I mean, it's too hard for me to read. The terms used are difficult for me to understand. What? Too difficult to read for you? I'm sorry, can you give me an idea what this is about? This strategy is complex. It can't be described in a word or two. I see. I'm sure Asmit can understand this. He should see this anyway. Shall I call him now? Asmit, he tries hard, but I don't think he would be able to understand this. He needs more experience as his strategist. Are you telling me that it's not necessary to call Asmit? If the strategy is that good, I think he should know about this. Can I keep this document? What are you going to do with it? I want to show this to Asmit and Paternus. Would that be okay with you? Wait a minute. I saw someone in my room a little while ago. This is not the document I prepared. That person must have exchanged the documents. Now I can't let you keep this document. I must take it back with me. I'll try to explain this strategy to you someday. It may be too difficult for you to understand. Well, I should look for that person. Excuse me. He was acting strange. So obviously he made it up. So two things happened there. So Philo and the other lady, I think is called Sophia. So both are clerics. I forgot the name of the class. Actually, let's check. I'm now curious to see the name. Yeah, cleric. That's it. So I was correct. So both studied under the same master. So that's why they were like discussing. They should have been fighting at all since the beginning of the war and all that stuff, which makes perfect sense. And that like oh, people should be looking at stars instead of doing war and stuff. That's kind of a Japanese thing, like appreciating simple things in life, like bird watching, like checking out trees and walking in the woods and things of that nature. That's why Japanese people worried a lot about like creating gardens and the aesthetics of very simple things, like a hallway in a house or things of that nature. It's very important to them because it's kind of a focusing on a pretty simple thing in life and improving it or like enjoying it, you know. So it's kind of a cultural thing. So for us here in the West, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you know. Wow, look at the stars. What that has to do with anything, basically, you know. But for them, it makes sense. And the second one there, Langeborg, he's known for being a strategist, but also not that great of a strategist. So he probably didn't want to have his plan like being analyzed under the scrutiny of actually intelligent knights that know strategy. So Asmith and Paternus, which are the two like basically granddaddies of this kingdom here. So he probably wanted the approval of the queen without having to go through those channels, you know. So that's why he made the whole thing up. It's kind of an interesting character he is, especially when you consider how low his rune power he is. So the idea is that basically his entire value is as a strategist, not necessarily as a knight, you know. And basically he's trying to prove that. Trouble is, that's rough to prove, you know. He needs the strategy to work first. That's a long-winded explanation, but there's a lot of these like little character moments that aren't even like necessarily dramatic. Some of those are just either funny or just a little moment that each knight has, like remembering the past, thinking about the future, thinking about why they are fighting and things of that nature. And frankly, I find those fascinating, because the thing that people talk the least about the war is during the conflict. They talk a lot about the effects later, and they talk a lot about the future, what the war is going to do. But during it, you actually don't hear a whole lot about it. Even to this day, you don't hear a whole lot about it. Like, why are we fighting? Should we keep fighting? They only like contemplate this later. Especially soldiers, they usually just put their head down and do what they are told, or even worse things that than those things that they were ordered to do, you know. Okay, so I need to move them here, so I just did. The main team is in the correct position. This is the final castle. No, this is the final castle. So we're going to have to attack here first, then most of the army is going to retreat here. Then we'll have to waste one turn repositioning here. And then we are going to try to finish them off here, because they are not going to attack Almekia ever. So they have that political treaty going. So that's the outlook here. The rest is fine, I think. So let's check. So let's start up here. Okay, so 3. Alright. Oh, actually, they only have 2 knights here now. Jesus. They have 2 knights, but the one that they put here is absolutely a nightmare to fight. So, Haley here, or Hallie, I don't know which one. So, this is a very complicated knight to explain, so I'm going to try to do my best here. Let's actually read her story. She's actually very relevant for the story of the game. So, a female knight who has a sad look in her eyes. She is called the Shooting Star Hallie, or Haley, for her beautiful yet fierce way of fighting. She searches around the continent for this guy, which I can pronounce the name, the magician who killed Leland, which is the only man she has ever loved. So this lady right here, she actually joins the army later, the Almekia Kingdom. And after a while, I don't remember what's the trigger, what causes her to do this. She leaves the army because the point of her character is not to actually like be a knight for one of the countries and actually conquer Forcina. That's not the point. She's looking for this guy, guy that starts with B here, that I can't pronounce at all. This guy is the final boss of Brigandine. He actually shows up after you conquer every single country. Then he shows up in the map and you have like 10 turns or like 10 months in game to go fight him. If you don't do that, it's game over. He kind of conquers the world. So you need to go attack him. So the idea of the Brigandine Grand edition of the game is after you conquer all of the castles, you need to fight this guy that she's looking for. So she's very relevant because she's the one reminder in this version of the game, the first version, that there is an evil guy out there that's causing the entire turmoil in the continent. But he's not present in this game, only the next. But she is the link between regular Brigandine and the Grand Edition Brigandine. So she's the reminder that there's something else we need to do, just not in this version of the game. You know what I mean? So she's very historically significant for the game. And also she's very powerful, very annoying to fight. 279 attack, that's brutal. And she can also use Holy Word and all that stuff. And also she has they decided to put the Salamander on her, which makes it even worse. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of creatures here, but I can't fight her at all here. Would be just a terrible idea. Huh. This is actually pretty weak. That said, I don't want to attack anybody else this turn, to be honest. I just want to focus on Kellion. Alright, so hopefully they won't attack us here. If they do, we can hold them off easily, I would say. But I really want to use the opportunity of trying to defeat them without Kai here. So let's do it. Okay. So, should be okay. Oh, that could have gone so bad for us. If Esgar's Empire actually had captured that fortress right there, that would mean that they could give the final blow to Kellion and we would lose the rights to the extra knights. That would have been pretty bad for us. That said, it didn't happen. They were able to defeat the invaders. This one might be easy, might not be easy, depends on how they advance here. That said, they still have a lot of horrible units here. So I don't think we are in trouble here. But this is not going to be the final battle. The final battle is going to be in the next couple of turns, really. So we are going to have to face Kai regardless, just not in this turn. Okay. And I just realized, by talking about, or trying to talk about the story of several things in that last turn there, that is actually very hard to tell those stories. I know really well from playing the game a lot. It's actually really hard to tell those stories in a language that is not my own language. So I might have stumbled quite a lot there. Hopefully it made sense. I'm not sure it did, to be honest. Okay, but I really like the stories of all of the characters. I think this should be enough to start a battle here. I like pulling the Griffs on the wall because they are not as strong as, say, this Titan right here. But the reason why they are good is that usually the enemy starts attacking them. So they are good for let's say I position the demon here behind the griffin, and then they start attacking right here, so she can use the curse. So it's kind of a good way to like place your troops, to know exactly where you can like, or behind which creature you can position yourself to use certain abilities, you know. You can pre-plan it pretty well. Yeah, they are going to try to block me from forming the complete wall here, which makes sense. Yeah, attacking the phoenixes at this point is just not good. Okay. Alright, so let's just form the wall here, let's just chill. She was not going to attack this turn regardless, so... Oh, no, no, no. No need. Okay, so now let's wait. Yeah, the way this battle is set up here is very pro us. It's not a positioning that favors the AI here at all. Mostly because the first one to move, not the first one to move, but the one that was the closest to us is actually Cleric. And the Cleric, the main problem for the Cleric here is that he doesn't do anything by himself. The only spell that he can use that is like relevant in combat is the Divine Ray spell, and he's too far away. So you need a complement if you are advancing with a Cleric. You need somebody else, some other knight to come with you, you know. And he didn't have it, so this completely favors us here. Okay, so damage is pretty good here. Alright, Kylov. So let's think about this. Let's actually try to... Yeah, I needed to kill the Fenrir here. I'm going to give him the XP. Hopefully this works. There you go. Good one. Still not like leveling up as quickly as I would hope. I was hoping that by this point he would like already be a shogun by now. But at the same time, he's doing a pretty good job so far. So I have like no like huge complaints. And frankly, he's more important as like a rune power like conveyor. He's way more useful as a guy that helps us bring as many creatures as possible than necessarily he's useful as a knight for us in this team here. Because the main point here is to use my two mages to defeat the enemy troops. So he's kind of a luxury, really, not necessarily a necessary guy that we need to use every battle to win, you know. I can totally win without ever using him for anything, really. So as you can see, he did not retreat, even though he's already at a disadvantage here. The reason why they didn't is that because if they do retreat here, what's going to happen is they are going to like have to roll the dice. So they might lose the troops if they do that, because they are going to have to force retreat, and when you force retreat you leave some creatures behind, and they barely have creatures. That said, they are already losing so many creatures that I personally think it would be a good idea to just go for it, you know, instead. Because they might lose the creatures during the battle anyway, so it doesn't matter how they are losing the creatures. If it's by trying to retreat or fighting, you know, might as well just retreat and try to get as many creatures as possible in the process. So there you go, Brigandine is using his only holy word here. Luckily he doesn't have a high intelligence, so we should be fine here. drinking some water here because the voice is going. Okay. 666. That's a phoenix right there. My man. A headbanger through and through. Okay. Alright, so they retreated a little bit with the vampire. Clearly the vampire was in a bad shape there. Yeah, the holy word is still useful here. I'm actually going to use the holy word first. I usually don't do this. I usually use it last to give her the XP for monster killing. Trouble is, I don't think I can kill anything this turn, so I'd rather do the opposite to like choose my attacks correctly with the rest of the troops here. I want to give the Titan down there as many XP as possible, so if I can like give him a kill, it would be great. I'm going to need to move my wall around a little bit here because I need to start attacking different creatures here. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Feather Storm here, knowing that the elements will prevent me of doing huge damage, because then I can use the Titan to kill the Angel here to give it some XP. Or not. There, down goes the strategy. Only works when the actual troops hit the enemy. When they don't, it looks absolutely atrocious. Okay, so let's move Kyloff here. Let me put this Phoenix here to close the wall. Let's do this. Okay, I think this should be good enough. Initially, using a bunch of rocks like we were using when we started using this army can be good because of the petrification status that the rocks can inflict. But later on, the situation in which we are right now, we have like 4 Phoenixes. Except this one, all of them are like level 14, level 21, level 18. So they heal a lot, they are very strong, they dodge a lot. So they are very powerful creatures to have. And down goes the dragon. So right now is a nightmare to fight against us because we have 4 of these regenerating creatures. There you go. Now they are retreating. And they lost the dragon. And one of the scorpions. Alright, so I can give the XP to Cortina here, so why not? I don't need to use any super strong spell. Is she going to get a level? Yeah, she is. Alright, let's send these guys ahead. I can kill this giant, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have the Jinn. The Jinn can solve the problem here. So we position the guy here. There it is. Dynadang, sure. Okay, so one more is down. If I could kill that vampire, it would be amazing. Because the vampire could evolve to another type of vampire later on. I forgot the name of the... I think it's Vampire Lord, the name of the creature, I'm not sure. But they will probably go down 2 turns from now, so I don't think they will have enough time to do anything with that particular creature there. The creature that you have to be very patient later on. Oh, there you go. They won't do anything because they won't have it anymore. Alright. So they lost a lot of creatures here. Like a lot. They lost like 7 or 8 creatures. So that's going to make the final battle pretty easy for us. Hopefully. So they lean. Oh, Rune Area Potion. That's pretty good. Another one in the island. Nothing. Problem with the quest system in this game is that several knights and great rewards you can get in a few quests are like character specific, so you need to send particular knights to particular quests basically. And the problem is you can't control. So you can send the same guy to quest like 20 times and never get the quest you want, you know? Chances are you will get it eventually, but like, you shouldn't be sending like level 20 characters to quests anyway. But sometimes you have to get particular knights, you know? One particular one that I'm remembering right now is the one that you have to send like King Cole, which is the king of the Pedestal Kingdom that becomes New Almechia. You need to send him to get a knight that like kind of retired, so he wants to bring the guy back. But you have to send him to quest, and he's a level 16 bishop, so it's like a waste, but you need to send him. It's only him, you know? So what's wrong, Kyloff? You look troubled? Oh, hi, Baleen. So, I'm going for a walk now. Why don't you come along? I can't walk with a girl. If that doesn't make sense to you, remember that Kyloff is like 16 or 17. And this is kind of a anime-based type game, so that makes perfect sense in this context. For us, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you know? Oh, you're a girl, so I'm not going to walk with you to some place, you know? It doesn't make any sense. So now you're treating me like a girl? So how convenient. Remember, I know some of your secrets. I could tell the queen whenever I want to, so she's kind of blackmailing him into like doing what she wants. Well, have you changed your mind? Okay, I'll come with you. So they go for a walk together. Walking together like this is like we are on a date, isn't it? So how come you're so quiet? I see you don't enjoy walking with me, is that it? So, Baleen, why are girls built so small and fragile? What are you saying? No, I'm perfectly fine. So you must be talking about the queen? Yes, exactly. Yes. So the queen is so fragile, even from the eyes of a woman like myself. So, I know that being a rude knight means that I must protect her, but the one thing I find out was that she's much stronger than she looks. Yeah, she's a level 26 character, dude. She's very strong. She fulfills her duty without complaining. I thought I was protecting her, but she's actually protecting me. Yes! My man has a lot of self-awareness. I'm very proud of him. He's growing up pretty well. I feel so useless. That's not true. So she may not need me anymore. That's also not true. You're the main reason, dude. So Kyloff, I like you the way you are now. So he got flustered there. So why not choose me? I can be with you all the time. I won't look at any other guys. I'll always be thinking about you. Don't you like me? Baleen, I'm sorry, but I'm just joking. You look so serious, so I thought I should play a trick on you. That's not true. So Baleen, you're terrible. I am seriously bothered. So, oh, I'm sorry? But you always said that you rely more on strength than brain power? What's your point? So, stop using your brain. You hurt yourself if you don't. So what? What about you? Why don't you start acting like a girl? You'll never get married unless you do. That's so cruel to say. I have to head back. I'll see you later. So wait, act like a girl? If I had been more like a girl, would I have been able to get you to notice me? Probably not. You had no shots from the beginning. So there you go. They have like a typical early adulthood conversation there. So as you can see, she probably liked him for like the longest time, but... Oh, I'm using move, I should be using quest. But she has no shot. But that was a very like interesting insight on his brain. So he wants to help, he wants to be useful, but he knows that he doesn't know a whole lot about anything really, because he, like Lannis, they have been like just put in the spot because of that oracle. So that means that they don't necessarily know what they are doing. So obviously, sometimes he feels completely lost, and he feels like he's not helping Lannis enough. Because in terms of story, the guys that actually help Lannis the most are Asmit and Paternus, the Bishop, and the... I forgot the name of the class that Paternus is, but is the most powerful knight in the country, was. Right now, Lannis is the most powerful. So in terms of politics, is basically useless, you know. So the only thing that he can do really is to fight on the battlefield to protect her meaning Lioness. So he's a very like endearing character in a way, because he just followed her, but he doesn't necessarily know exactly what he's doing all the time, so he's just hoping that he's doing the correct thing. Alright, so I think I moved everybody here. So before I move these troops, remember that they left some creatures here, so I need to delete them. And I want the vampire. I just don't know how am I going to do to like free some space here to put him in. Let me see, what can I do here? Huh. I have 20 with Lioness, and outside of the Titan here, so it's not going to need rune power for anything else. The demon will evolve eventually, but she's ways off from evolving yet. Oh, actually, Cortina has a lot, and she also... Now I actually have a lot of rune power here. So let me see if I can just move some things around here. Let me give her the vampire. There you go. So now, let me see. There you go. Perfect. So I'll leave him with the second best Phoenix here. Cool. So we didn't have to sacrifice basically anything here. This is a free vampire. I'm a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines fan. I am not deleting the vampire at all. That's malpractice. Okay. Alright. So I don't need to do anything this turn. So they will be at their full strength when we fight them. There you go. I was expecting this attack like a few turns ago, but now it's happening. There it is. Okay. So we need to, before the battle starts, we need to be very careful here. Very careful. We need to choose correctly. I'm going to explain what's happening. So this is the first time I think this entire playthrough have been attacked, I think. Literally the first time. Okay, so what's happening here is they sent Asmari. I'm going to explain a little bit about this character pretty soon, but for now let's just talk about strategy here. So they sent her from one castle, and they are sending Kador here, and this knight here, Rokod, from other castles. So they are sending two different forces from two different castles. So that means that they are going to enter the battlefield at different points. That's why she's here and they are there. That said, this is actually a rough spot because she's a lector, so she has Holy Word. So fighting her first, even though she's alone, is actually a bad idea. It's a fool's errand, because she might like pulverize us before the rest of the army arrives, you know. So I think the best idea here is to actually fight against Kador first. If we kill enough units, they might retreat before Asmari is able to reach us from this side, you know. But we have to be very fast. We have to meet them on the battlefield. We cannot wait for them. So it's kind of a rough spot to be attacked like this. But I was, as I told you guys, I was expecting this attack a long time ago. So I knew it was going to happen eventually. So might as well just deal with it now. So I'm going to save here. Let's see what can I pull off my hat here. This is not a castle we need right now. We can totally retreat if things go south here. So I'll keep that in mind. But I do think the best choice is to completely avoid Asmari here. She's way weaker than Kador is. But the problem is she's a lector, so she can use a couple of holy words, I think. Or at least one. So we should not, under any circumstance, fight her first. Because even if we kill her, they might just not retreat on the other side. And when they arrive to fight us, we are not going to have enough HP to counter them, you know? And also we need to move extremely fast here, because if she like cuts us off before we can bring the entire army to the same place, we are basically screwed, you know? We can't fix that during the battle is over. So we will need to win the battle having half the army on one side and have the army on the other side. Luckily that guy right there is going to take forever to reach us. And he's basically a non-factor in this battle. So is this grappler, by the way. Doesn't help a whole lot. We barely can use him in battles and stuff. He's way too weak right now. Grapplers and monks are the worst class in the game, easily. Because they don't do a whole lot of different stuff. Their final evolution as a class is really good. But until you reach that point, they will suck hard for a while. Alright, so before I continue with the battle, let me talk about this lady right here. So this lady right here, let's read her story real quick, because it's actually very interesting. So, age 27, female. The older sister of the king of Norgard and wife of the emperor of Esgars. She was sent to Almecia as a hostage under the rule of the late king of Norgard, and became the wife of Zemachus, who at that time was the commander of the kingdom army. So she's basically the older sister of Vaynard, which is the leader of Norgard when the game starts. The late king, he just died, and Vaynard just assumed the throne of Norgard. So what happens is, after the battles between Almecia and Norgard, she's sent to Almecia as a hostage. So she ends up, I don't know if she ends up like falling in love with the guy, or if she's forced to become his wife, something like that, I don't know. I think she likes him, I don't remember, to be honest. She actually talks about this with Vaynard later on. Especially if you conquer Esgars, they have a talk about this. She basically is the link between Almecia, Norgard, and Esgars at the same time. So it's really interesting when you have Vaynard and you are fighting the Esgars Empire, and you actually have to fight your own sister, because she became the wife of the commander of the army, you know. And she became his wife before the entire like coup and before Esgars Empire was ever formed. So maybe she didn't know the extent to which the guy would be like susceptible. I don't know how to pronounce that word. The extent in which the guy would be manipulated by this guy right here, Kador, which is the guy that is doing the beating of that mage, that Haley, the shooting star lady, that I just talked about like 20 minutes before this. That mage works with Kador, or a better way to say, Kador works for that mage, so he helps like create the turmoil. I really need to learn how to say this word, like susceptible. I really don't know how to pronounce that. I need to learn that. But basically the idea is that that mage caused the entire problem to happen in the first place. So you need to basically end the war before you can fight him. But as I said before, the problem is, in this version of the game, he doesn't exist as an enemy. He actually shows up in the story in several different kingdoms, as far as I remember. So you actually see him, but you don't fight him in this version of the game. That was very smart. That was very smart. You need to give the AI its due when they do something useful. Not useful. they apply some good strategy to their decisions. So what happened there? Kador is a very strong knight in any type of combat. So they could totally just move him to my wall here and attack. But because of the strategy they are using two different armies from different forts or castles. So what they decided to do here is to actually keep him here instead of moving him towards me, because he's basically waiting for the other army to arrive. That's actually very, very smart, you know. That said, I need to kill as many units as possible. I cannot sit around and wait here. That option is just non-available. So I'm going to have to take some damage with my Gigas here. So if everything goes south here, I will just retreat. But for now, we should be fine. But I really need some units to go down as quickly as possible. Oh, level 20, so I can now transform him into a Necromancer, which is actually a really good class. They have a spell that's called Meteor Doom, which is the best damage spell in the game. Trouble is, it's kind of hard to use. Oh, she moves in a weird pattern there. Unfortunately, she has the Phoenix. If she didn't have the Phoenix, we could totally go back and kill her here. But that's not the situation we are in here. I'm actually going to attack with her. I usually don't do this, but I don't think I have time to wait here. So I'm just going to try to kill this Griffin as fast as possible. This is not going to force them to retreat right now, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's not going to. But that's not the point here. I just need to, like, make their armies, like, less threatening for now at least. It's kind of difficult to know what exactly to do in this type of situation. Sometimes you can just straight up kill a little too many of his units and they just decide to leave, you know, sometimes. And other times you can do like everything that I'm doing right now and it doesn't work. So kind of depends. If I could kill that Archdemon, would help a lot too. Right now they have a double curse situation, meaning Kador can use curse and the Demoness also can use curse, so they can kill one unit of my army in one turn. Thing is, they usually don't do that, so... Okay, so we are in a pretty bad spot here. Luckily, Chantail is going to move first. She's going to move second, but if she moves like through here, she can bring the Phoenix and attack me from behind. That's terrible. So that's basically going to force me to move here. I'm going to protect the Giant, because the Giant is the weakest unit I have here, in terms of units I want to protect. I'm still annoyed about the susceptible. I want to learn that word. A good thing that came out of me doing this channel is that I'm finding out a lot of words that, like, I know exactly where they fit, like in the language and in phrases and stuff, but I just don't know how to pronounce them, or like to use the correct tense of a verb if it's a verb, you know. So it's helped me out, like, figure out what I actually need to practice, you know. Huh, that's actually an interesting choice. I would have used Dimension there, probably would have been more useful. But who am I to complain, right? Okay, so this guy has to move as far away as possible from all that situation there. Oh, that was a great hit. And that was a great hit by her too. Alright, so... I don't like attacking Hellhounds because they dodge a lot. We got lucky there. There you go. But we still need to kill a bunch of units, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that fair is gonna go down. There's nothing I can do to protect her. She's dead. So I always knew that this castle would be a nightmare to defend, especially because of the positioning. So I'm always expecting to like everything to go south, and a retreat would probably be necessary eventually. So we'll see this turn if we can make something happen. If we cannot, then I'll retreat, no problem. I don't live or die by this castle, so I don't necessarily need it. Alright, I need to kill this demoness as quickly as possible. The problem is I can't reach her this turn, I think. Yeah, there's nothing I can do really. I can't move Charlene a whole lot here too. She's going to be very exposed if I do that. Maybe here it's fine. Alright, the Phoenix. If I could like get the Phoenix to attack the Demoness would be awesome. But I can't, so... There you go, at least we didn't take any damage. The Phoenix might be really important here because the Phoenix has the heal voice. So we might need to use the Phoenix to actually heal here. That was actually a pretty good attack for us. I think if we kill this dragon and that giant, we should be able to win this just by them retreating eventually. Alright, so they healed the Demoness here. I don't think there's any point in attacking her straight away. She might dodge, so I'd rather use the breath here. Alright, the Holy Gryph is already in a very bad shape here, to be honest. So I'm going to do kind of like this. I am completely avoiding Khador, by the way, as you might have noticed. There's no point in attacking him. First, because he dodges everything. Second, because he's way too powerful, so if I attack him, the units... Yeah, there you go, there goes the Gryph, the Holy Gryph. Oh, not the Holy Gryph, the Pegasus. So that's the curse. So he used the curse and the Geno Flame, so we should be fine by now in terms of him using spells. Alright, if I can kill the Demoness right now would be great. Thank you. Man, that was close. That was way too close. So let's focus on attacking this guy now, meaning his units. So basically, most of my good units are going to die here, probably. Yeah, I'm not going to attack Khador here at all. It's a terrible idea. Oh, that's so lucky. He's actually attacking the one unit I don't care about. But I think it's about time we retreat here. I don't think there's anything else we can really do here, to be honest. We can still like keep grinding, but I don't think we have enough firepower to actually fight this army on this side here, to be honest. If there wasn't a Phoenix here, I would think about it. But we don't have anything to like actually fight against that Phoenix. So let's just retreat. We might lose a guy here, but that's okay. That's what happens when you retreat in this game. Yeah, this dragon is going to go down for sure. Down he goes. So sometimes you can make this work. Other times, even if I have done the opposite and attacked her first, instead of attacking Khador's army here first, I don't think it would have mattered at all. I think the results was going to be exactly the same, because then I would have fought her for the longest time. She would use the Holy Word spell and all that stuff, and when Khador's army reached me, By that point, I would be so weak that I wouldn't be able to even start fighting him. He's the worst knight to fight against in the entire game in terms of like just sheer power that you have to deal with, you know. His combinations of skills, of different skills that he can use are way too powerful. He can use Curse and Genoflame, and his attack is way too high, and so on and so on. So there's a lot of problems. Oh, that's very interesting for a lot of reasons. So yeah, that's basically our first defeat, really, I think. I'm drinking more water here. Which is actually pretty good. We had a great run in terms of like not losing until this point. But this one was really rough. But at least we kept most of our good units. We lost the Pegasus, but the Pegasus is not like that important, to be honest. It's good, don't get me wrong, but... So now, what's going to happen is they will have to only bring troops from this castle to attack this castle here. So that basically means that they can't do what they just did, which is to bring one powerful knight from one side and another powerful knight from another castle. We only need to defend this one against this one, or the opposite of what I just said there. But that's actually pretty okay. As I said before, we didn't need to keep this castle here. This is the castle we definitely need to keep. So if they attack this time, we're going to have to resist. But for now, that's not what I wanted to do there. So we have Asmith's team here. I'm going to rework this team here because we lost a few units. There was not a lot of quests this turn, so that's great. Karov, Kirkmond, here. Okay. Have to be careful to not send the actual knights to quests, because remember we have actually 2 armies here. Actually, I should do that instead. I'm actually going to bring the guys from Salisbury here to my side here, and I'm going to bring Paternus' army here. I think this is actually a better idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this guy, and this guy, and they will be here for a while. And I'm going to bring these guys to closer to me here. The fact that we kept most of the good units is great news. We kept the Holy Gryph, we kept the Phoenix, we kept the Red Dragon, and we kept the Gygas too. So that's actually pretty good in terms of like defeat. Meaning it could have been way worse. Okay. So yeah, so first I need to reinforce this army again. We lost a bunch of troops here. Let's see our rune power situation here. Oh yeah, I can evolve him too. That's actually pretty cool. So, Chantail, he can finally become a Necromancer. So, he doesn't get an intelligence bonus, that's annoying. But let me show you guys here. So now he has Venom, Curse, Dimension, which is really good. A very unique spell called Necro Rebirth, which basically, the description says here, blows false life into dead monsters. Basically, he brings someone back. It's like a raise dead spell. So if you lose like a very strong unit, like a Salamander, you can just bring it back for the duration of the battle, you know? Very useful. And he still has Flame and Genoflame. And here is the great one, Meteor Doom. Causes meteors to fall within range. It's a very powerful spell, but very difficult to use. Usually when you use it, you also get your own units. Difficult to explain. When we actually use the spell, I'm going to show you guys why that's a problem in terms of range. Let me see what I can summon. Oh, that's so good. That's actually really good. I'm so glad there's wyverns here. I would say, alongside the dragons, the wyverns are my favorite unit. They move a lot, they are very like versatile, they are resistant. They don't like die instantly when you move them forward too much because they move a lot. They already start with decent HP. So they are like all around pretty good units to have. Actually, I'm going to remove this golem, to be honest. 60, 75, 95. There you go. There it is. Actually, oh man, that's so unlucky. Like, was so close to working, you know? 80. If I do this, might work. There you go. That's what I wanted. That's pretty solid, by the way. It's even better than it was before. So it turns out that the whole situation with the losing actually helped us make the team even better here, to be honest. There's that rune area potion. Increases rune area by 1 hex. Everybody has 4, I think, here. This guy has 5. He already drank 1 before. So maybe... I don't know who should drink this, to be honest. Because, oh, that's not what I want to do. This is very good, an extra rune area. But everybody that I think I want to give it to already has it. Might as well give it to Cortina, so she's going to have rune area 5. Not like super necessary, you know, but it is useful. Alright. So, yeah. Actually, I'm going to cancel this move. I didn't thought that this army would actually be that good after the resummoning here. I think this is pretty decent. I don't think I need to worry about it, especially now that I have a necromancer. So I'm going to actually cancel all of these movements here. So I'm going to keep these 2 armies here the way they were before. So in the next episode, we are going to finally try to finish Callion off here. The main problem, remember that I told you guys before, the fact that Asgar's captured this Castle Fazard here is actually pretty bad for us, because that means that they could give the final blow to Callion before us, because Callion has only this castle here. And also that means that Callion could actually attack them and capture this castle here before they fight us. So they might like extend their life here, basically what happened to Norgard in the beginning of the game. So, but they probably have decent defenses here, yeah. They will summon some stuff here, so I doubt that they will be like easy prey for Callion, you know. And they frankly just don't have that many good troops left. There's like the zombie, there's like 4 giant scorpions, a clay golem, more zombies. So they just have basically shit units by this point. So I'm not worried too much. And also, I don't think Asgar is going to attack them here. Because if they were to attack, this is what they would have basically. So they would have to reallocate troops to Zemeckis here and summon a bunch of troops. And actually be able to win too, which is not necessarily easy. Their troop composition here is pretty decent, I would say. But I don't know if it's decent enough to actually kill Callion, because the final battle, as you guys remember, you need to kill everything. You need to kill the 3 knights to end the battle. And obviously with Kai and several spellcasters here, that might be very difficult to do, because you might have to wait for them to use all of their spells and all of their mana first before you can finish them off. and that requires patience and a lot of like resistant creatures in your army, which is exactly our case, because we have some healing units, we have 4 phoenixes, so we can heal a lot and we can regenerate a lot. So we are exactly the perfect type of army to fight against Caerleon, you know, to finish them off. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But all of that is going to be in the next episode. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.